What if the distance between you and your dream reality isn't measured in miles, effort, or time, but in vibration? What if what you seek has never been lost, only waiting for you to remember the frequency where you both already exist as one? At the heart of quantum physics lies a mystery that bends every rule we thought we understood about space and time. It isn't an abstract theory, it's a proven phenomenon. When two particles become entangled, they remain forever connected, no matter how far they drift. Change one, and the other shifts instantly. Not quickly, instantly. Classical physics protests. Nothing should move faster than light. But entanglement doesn't ask permission from the laws of speed or distance. It moves as if distance is an illusion, as if time has no real direction, as if beneath everything, there is only unity, one continuous field of being. Pause there for a moment, because this isn't just about subatomic particles. It's about you. It's about consciousness itself. The quantum world refuses to divide the observer from the observed. It says your awareness is not passive, it's creative. Your focus collapses possibilities into form. Your attention sculpts the landscape of reality, and maybe, just maybe, this entanglement doesn't end with photons and electrons. It might include you, your higher self, your healed self, the version of you who already lives the life you've been trying so hard to reach. What if that version isn't something to be built, but remembered? What if it already exists, quietly intertwined with who you are now? This isn't poetic imagination, it's quantum precision. When particles entangle, their probabilities merge into a shared wave, a single living equation. The change in one instantly determines the other, no matter the distance. Now imagine your consciousness as that same kind of field, non-local, limitless, stretching across infinite versions of you. Each shift in your inner state ripples through the network of your being. Every thought, every feeling subtly reshapes the probability field of who you can become. You are not shouting into the void, you are tuning into yourself across dimensions. And the signal you send determines the reality you receive. This is what the physicist David Bohm called the implicate order. A hidden layer beneath perception where all things already coexist, folded within one another. In that space, your future isn't ahead of you. It's within reach, waiting for resonance. So perhaps the real question isn't, how do I reach my dream life? But how do I align with the version of me who's already living it? Because if entanglement is true, and it is, then your future self is not fiction. It's a living pattern in the quantum field, broadcasting a frequency your consciousness can feel. Your body, your emotions, your mind are the antenna. And coherence, the harmony between them, is the key. The quantum field doesn't respond to wishful words or effort. It responds to coherence. When thought, emotion, and action vibrate as one clear tone, reality listens. When they clash, the signal becomes noise, static that scrambles the connection. That's why many never experience the shift they seek. They think one thing, feel another, act from fear. Their field flickers, their transmission weakens. Not because the universe ignores them, but because the message isn't clear. Entanglement thrives on purity, not pressure. When your system quiets, aligns, and surrenders, the field mirrors that stillness. Timelines bend, probabilities collapse. Opportunities emerge from what looks like nothing, because you finally tuned in to the frequency where they already existed. Your dream life is not a prize to chase, it's a wavelength to remember. And the only distance between you and it is the clarity of the signal you send now. So if you've been feeling a quiet pulse within you, a version of yourself that feels freer, truer, lighter, that's not imagination. That's entanglement whispering. That's the field calling you home. You are not separate from what you seek. You are already connected. And the universe is listening. The mind is not a cage inside the skull. It is not a spark trapped behind bone and flesh. It is a field, vast, intelligent, and infinitely intertwined with the fabric of reality itself. Your thoughts are not private whispers. They radiate like ripples through the quantum sea, leaving traces in the invisible geometry around you. Each thought is a signal, each emotion an amplifier. When mind and heart move as one current, they create a pattern so precise that the universe cannot ignore it. Science can measure this harmony. The brain's electromagnetic waves merging with the heart's pulsing field, forming a coherent frequency that bends probability toward alignment. In chaos, the signal scatters. In stillness, it becomes luminous. Most of us live in noise, thinking one thing, feeling another, pulled by static within. But the moment we drop beneath the noise into presence, the moment thought and feeling find rhythm, a door opens. Your nervous system turns into an antenna tuned to the quantum. The frequency you emit decides which version of reality you lock into. This isn't mysticism, it's mechanics. The field listens not to your words, but to your coherence. When your inner world settles into harmony, your signal becomes magnetic. It draws timelines. It folds space. It attracts events and synchronicities that resonate with your state of being. Every future you already exists as a wave, waiting for your resonance to touch it. The you who lives in freedom, peace, and abundance is not imaginary. It is a living pattern vibrating in the field. The question isn't whether that version is real, but whether your signal is clear enough to meet it. All transformation begins within. Until your inner rhythm steadies, your outer world will echo distortion. You cannot align with clarity if your field hums with contradiction. You cannot collapse the future while your nervous system clings to the past. In quantum truth, observation is creation. But observation is not just seeing, it is feeling, intending, becoming. Every moment you witness life with your full coherence, you reshape the field. The brain is not the source of the mind, it is the translator. Thought is not born, it is tuned. You are not inventing visions, you are receiving frequencies that already exist. When insight flashes in meditation, when guidance arises without logic, when knowing appears from nowhere, those are not fantasies, they are connections. In those moments, your consciousness reaches across the quantum sea, touches the hand of your future self, and remembers what it has always known. Because the mind was never meant to be confined. It was meant to be a bridge between worlds. Your coherence is the bridge, the thread that lets you cross between what is and what could be. If consciousness is the signal and the quantum field the receiver, then your subconscious mind is the filter that shapes how that signal is heard. And most people, without realizing it, are broadcasting static. They speak words of abundance while their body braces for loss. They repeat affirmations that sound right but feel hollow. They visualize futures their nervous system still fears to hold. The field isn't ignoring them. It's only reflecting the distortion within. This is the quiet sabotage of the subconscious, an ancient code running the show from behind the curtain. Over 95% of what you think, feel, and do is automated. These patterns were carved into your biology long before you could choose. You absorbed emotional frequencies from your parents, your culture, your environment. You inherited fear, scarcity, unspoken grief. They became the invisible architecture of your identity, and unless rewritten, they keep you entangled with old timelines. You may crave freedom, yet a hidden part of you still equates freedom with danger. You may speak of love while your cells remember betrayal. You may call in expansion, but your body still trembles at the thought of being seen. The field doesn't respond to what you wish, it responds to what you are. And what you are is defined by the signal your whole system emits, not the words your lips repeat. When coherence fractures, entanglement falters. The signal scatters, timelines stall. It isn't because your dreams are unreachable, but because your vibration isn't steady enough to meet them. You're trying to tune to 97.8 FM while your inner frequency flickers between 88.1 and 103.5. One part of you trusts, another clings to control. One part moves forward, another pulls back in fear. That internal dissonance creates noise, and noise blocks connection. This is why so many seekers feel stuck. The field is responding perfectly. It's mirroring the version of you that's still transmitting confusion. You can't manifest a new reality from an old identity. Identity itself is a program, a script written by repetition, by pain, by memory. Until it's rewritten, the same story keeps playing. Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." In quantum terms, your subconscious is the real observer. It's the deep frequency that determines what feels safe to receive, what feels possible to hold. Until that frequency shifts, the field keeps collapsing the same loop. Your body remembers everything. Every moment of contraction, every breath you didn't take, every emotion you swallowed becomes muscle memory, an energetic echo shaping your present. Over time, that becomes your baseline. Tension disguised as strength, vigilance mistaken for awareness. So you might say, "I'm ready to receive," but if your body is still locked in survival, fight, flight, or freeze, the field hears fear, not readiness. It sends back more waiting, more friction, more proof that the old world still rules you. And this is the cruelest misunderstanding. Most people see their resistance as failure. They think they're broken, unworthy, or simply bad at manifestation, but they are not failing. They are only living inside an unhealed signal. They try harder, push more, demand alignment from a system that's simply asking to be freed. And in that struggle, they unknowingly strengthen the very program they wish to escape. "I'm not there yet. I must fight for it." That thought alone keeps them bound to the past. You cannot merge with your highest self while living in survival, because survival only knows how to repeat what's already been. True transformation doesn't begin with more effort. It begins with liberation. Liberation from the unconscious loops, from the inherited noise, from the old frequency that once protected you but now confines you. There was once a man who followed every rule. He learned the science, made the vision board, repeated the affirmations, yet nothing shifted. The same scarcity, the same triggers, the same weight of not yet. Until one day he asked a different question. Not what am I doing wrong, but what part of me still believes this isn't safe? And in that moment, he saw it. A memory long buried, of success followed by loss, of light punished, joy taken. A quiet belief had taken root. When I receive, I lose. When I shine, I suffer. When I expand, I'm hurt. That silent code had shaped every signal he ever sent. No affirmation could override it until he brought it into awareness and rewrote it. Because the field doesn't mirror your words, it mirrors your source. And until that source is clear, the signal remains fractured. This isn't about blame, it's about awakening. You are not broken. You are broadcasting. And what you've been emitting is not who you truly are. It's what you were once trained to become. The moment you see that, the moment you realize the field is loyal not to your past but to your pattern, everything changes. Patterns can be rewritten, frequencies can be retuned. You are never too late. You are never too far gone. You are simply entangled with an old story that no longer belongs to you. And the code can change. If you've reached this point, something in you already knows. The future is not something you chase. It's something you connect with. And connection doesn't happen through thought. It happens through coherence, through embodiment, through recoding the patterns your nervous system has been looping and replacing them with the vibration it once feared but is now ready to hold. So now we shift from knowing to becoming, from theory to field, from concept to calibration. Let's ground this in what both neuroscience and quantum mechanics agree on. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a memory and a vividly imagined experience charged with emotion. When you visualize something with full sensory presence, your brain and body treat it as real. Circuits fire, hormones shift, your electromagnetic field repatterns. The field doesn't ask, is it true? It asks, is it consistent? This is how you reprogram yourself, not by chanting words, but by embodying the frequency of already. So breathe, find stillness inside. Let the words that follow not pass through your ears, but through your field. Let them guide you, not by control, but by surrender, by presence, by willingness. Now imagine a version of you who has already crossed the threshold. They are not perfect, but they are whole. They move with calm precision. They breathe with ease. Their energy feels grounded, magnetic, complete. They are not reaching, not proving. They are simply being. See them clearly. How do they stand? How do they speak? What does their world feel like? Not just around them, but within them. Now feel them, not as someone distant, but as someone remembered, because they are here, already entangled with you. The only space between you is the emotional distance created by your current frequency. So breathe as they breathe. Let your shoulders drop. Let your heart slow. Let the noise quiet. Even for a moment, allow yourself to become them. Hold that state. Let your nervous system memorize it. You are replacing the signal of striving with the signal of sufficiency. You are dissolving the code of lack with the resonance of wholeness. This is not fantasy. This is quantum alignment, because the field does not answer to want. It answers to being. And being is the language your future self already speaks. Tuning is surrender. It is presence. It is the willingness to pause the old story long enough for a new one to emerge. It is giving your body permission to rest in a frequency it once feared. It is offering your subconscious a new instruction. I am not the version that suffered. I am the version that remembers. This is the essence of reprogramming. Not repeating what you desire, but embodying who you already are beneath the layers of conditioning. A single, simple act can anchor this. Declare it. Say, I am entangled. Not for anyone else, not for validation, but as a marker in your own field, a signal to the quantum, a vibrational statement of readiness, coherence, and return. When you name it, you claim it. And when you claim it, the field begins to respond. You are not pretending. You are remembering. You are not creating from scratch. You are collapsing from signal. The version of you who already lives this truth feels you now. Stay here. Let the vision saturate your cells. Let the emotions settle into your field. Let the old code dissolve in the presence of this new frequency. If it feels subtle, that is the sign of real quantum change. It moves quietly beneath the surface, in stillness, in sensation, in breath. This is not performance. This is access. This is not magic. This is mechanics. And you are the bridge. Let this practice extend beyond this moment. Let it shape your day, your choices, your posture, your voice. Even brief periods in this state stabilize your field. And when your field stabilizes, reality bends. There comes a subtle, undeniable moment when the chase stops, when striving dissolves, when the part of you that reaches and hopes simply rests, not from fatigue, but from remembrance. You realize that what you have been seeking was never ahead. It has always been within. The work is not to arrive, it is to return. This is quantum becoming. You do not attract your dream life. You become the frequency that matches it and the field aligns. But to become is not to fake it. It is not acting as if from lack. It is remembering the self that has always existed, aligned, expanded, clear. You are not inventing that self. You are collapsing into it. Every possible version of you, rich, healed, broken, fulfilled, afraid, already exists as a wave function in the quantum field. These wave functions are not static pictures. They are energetic blueprints, flickering probabilities, vibrational realities. The version you experience depends on one thing: coherence. When your internal state aligns with the frequency of a particular possibility in the quantum field, that version of you materializes. It collapses from wave to form. This isn't mystical poetry, it's quantum mechanics in motion. The observer effect is not merely about looking, it's about being. In the quantum sense, observation is the total expression of your electromagnetic presence choosing a timeline. So the question isn't, how do I reach my dream reality? But rather, how do I stabilize as the version of me who already lives it? That shift changes everything. It transforms how you breathe, how you walk into a room, how you speak to yourself in silence. It redefines what you tolerate, what you expect, and what you prepare for. And here lies the paradox. The more you live as though you already are, the less you feel the need to prove it. The more you act from your future, the less you have to chase it. The field, precise and responsive, begins to mirror that identity effortlessly. Because when you become the signal, the delay disappears. But becoming isn't always radiant or easy. Sometimes it feels like grief, resistance, or uncertainty. You're not just stepping into a higher frequency, you're shedding the parts of yourself built to survive the old one. That shedding can look like stillness, like quiet recalibration. Yet beneath the stillness, your system is learning a new truth. Safety no longer lies in the pattern, it lives in the possibility. The version of you that already embodies that possibility isn't waiting for you to impress them. They're waiting for you to trust them. You trust them by walking like them, thinking from their clarity, replacing the broadcasts of, "I'm not there yet," with "I am already living it." This is what Neville Goddard meant by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It isn't about forcing emotion, it's about stabilizing identity. It's allowing that version of you to become your default frequency, your home vibration. And when your thoughts, emotions, and actions hum in unison with that identity, the field stops reflecting your effort. It begins reflecting your essence. And essence is magnetic. Your essence is not earned, it is remembered. So ask yourself, who would I be today if I knew my dream reality was already real? How would I move? What would I stop explaining? What would I begin to honor? These aren't hypotheticals, they're calibration points. Every choice made from the frequency of who you're becoming overrides the old code, gently but powerfully. You aren't convincing the universe. You're aligning with the version of you the universe already designed. This isn't about effort, it's about coherence. Not about doing more, but about being truer. Not about forcing the vision, but about becoming living proof that it already exists. Because once your frequency becomes indistinguishable from the reality you desire, there's nothing left to manifest, only timelines to receive. So breathe, soften the grip. Let the version of you who already knows begin to lead. Not someday, but now. Becoming is not a destination. It's a continuous return to the truth of who you already are. And remember, not every transformation announces itself. Sometimes the most profound shift comes quietly, without ceremony. A subtle recalibration within your field, so precise, so resonant, that reality reorganizes itself around you without a single word spoken. This is where true manifestation lives, not in striving or searching, but in stillness. Because the quantum field doesn't respond to performance, it responds to presence. When there is no contradiction in your vibration, when your frequency hums in calm coherence, the field moves in harmony. Timelines don't collapse through force, but through elegance, through the certainty of one who no longer needs to chase or prove, because they already are. Not by accident, but by resonance. You didn't stumble into these words, you match them. That's how the field works, like tuning forks across dimensions, vibrating in sync until they recognize themselves in one another. So as you read this, as your breath slows and your awareness expands, remember, this isn't the end of a teaching, it's the continuation of a remembering. The channel isn't out there, it's within you. Every time you return to coherence, every time you choose presence over panic, every time you allow stillness to replace striving, you re-enter the broadcast of your entangled self. That self, the one beyond fear, beyond separation, has never been waiting for results. It's been waiting for recognition, waiting for you to stop chasing the frequency and realize that you are the frequency. So let this be your closing and your opening. You are not learning how to manifest. You are remembering how to align. You are not reaching toward your future. You are receiving it. You are not becoming something new. You are returning to what has always been whole. Stay in coherence. Breathe in the silence that hums beneath all sound. Trust the invisible architecture already forming around your new vibration. And when you doubt, when you slip back into effort, remember this. You are not separate from what you seek. You are already entangled with it, and the field is still listening.